Welcome to class. My name is Selena Garofino. Today's practice is about how we play the energies of yin and yang, these two unique expressions of the vital life energy of qi or currency or prana that is all around us and also inside of us, and really is fundamental to our health and well-being. So foundational to Chinese medicine and Taoism are these concepts of yin and yang, again, two expressions of the vital life energy of qi. And how we manage our qi, our currency, is how we manage our health and our well-being physically, mentally, energetically, and emotionally. So learning to play these energies and these paradoxes within our asana practice, within our breath work, and also off of our mat is a way in which we can better harmonize our lives to great nature and ultimately have more longevity and more joy. So foundational to Taoism and Chinese medicine is this idea of paradox, that there is no light without the darkness, that these paradoxes and these pairs of opposites both define and create each other, and yin and yang are no different. But what's interesting is that these paradoxes and differences are not so black and white. They can be further divided. So there is a seed of yin in every piece of yang, and there is a seed of yang in everything that is yin, which we see in the expression of the yin-yang symbol that you are all, I'm sure, familiar with. So what this looks like in a yoga practice is, for example, if we take our Katonah sun salutations and we slow them down and bring an introspective quality to them, then we are inviting an aspect of yin into the practice. Or if we, for example, sit in a forward fold for a long time, for 10 minutes, that is a very yin longevity kidney practice. But if we stay in a hang for 5 breaths in a very fiery, flowy version of a practice, it is introducing a smaller quality of yin into something that is very yang. So not only do these energies define each other and contrast with one another, but they also are incredibly interdependent. And in addition to being interdependent, they also control one another at times. And so learning to tap into these energies and to use them to our advantage is really central to health, because Chinese medicine says that the way in which we manage our qi and build our qi is fundamental to our longevity, our mental well-being, our emotional stability, and really everything else. So today we're going to play with this idea of the seed of yin and the yang, and the seed of the yang and the yin, and play the fluidity of these two expressions of qi. So we're going to start in a more yin state. So please come to lie on your back and bring the soles of the feet to the floor and bring your knees together so you're really in a core resting pose. So knees together, feet a little wide, and bring maybe one hand to your belly and one to your chest. And for a moment, just notice the quality of your breathing, the quality of your energy. And then we'll start to regulate the breath. So you can close your eyes if you wish. I'm going to start in this very yin state, bringing this introspective, quiet, inward expression of practice into our space. Later, we'll start to introduce the seed of the yang. So start to move the breath, breathing through your nose, sealing your lips. And see if you can find a breath that is around 4 counts in and 4 counts out with no pauses. Allow your belly to be soft and expansive. In for 4, out for 4. And as you're breathing in this way, again, just keep a part of your awareness watching the quality of your thoughts, noticing any holding in the body. Without trying to force anything or fight against anything, can you lean into the support of the earth? That you're really upheld by the floor underneath of you. Again, leaning into these yin qualities of yielding, softening, surrendering, embodying. And 3 more rounds of breath like that. In for 4 and out for 4. Good, and continuing in this way, just another couple more rounds of breath. Let's add a little pause at the top of the in-breath. So in for 4, hold the breath for 2, and out for 4. In for 4. A little retention of breath, and out for 4. You might even notice the exhale wants to extend itself to 6 counts as you move into a little more relaxed yin state. Again, yielding to planet below, upheld by this blue-green planet that is our heavenly host. Lungs expanding due to the atmospheric pressure of the planet, really reminding you that you are part of, yielding and softening. Letting the organs of the belly soften. More layers to this idea of yin. And take one more round of in for 4, retaining 2, and out for 4 or 6 counts. And then just to move into a little more relaxation, little deeper state of inviting that yin energy in for 4 and out for 8. Or even in for 5 and out for 10, but breathing in this 1 to 2 count ratio. So you're inhaling and exhaling for twice as long. One more round of that 1 to 2 count ratio. And then release control of the breath at the bottom of that cycle and just observe any little shifts in state. And then nice and easy, roll yourself over onto your left side, the more yin side of the body, supporting your head on your elbow. And then use the support of your right hand to gently and slowly rise all the way up. And please come to all fours on the mat now. So bringing yourself onto all fours on the mat, plant your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly underneath of your hips. Spread the tops of the feet so that you really have this connection to planet. Broaden your collarbones by wrapping your armpits forward. Index fingers are pointing straight ahead. Very good. And then tuck your tailbone underneath of you and then arch your back and stick your tailbone back. In, out, in, out, and start to pump your breath, stoking the fire. So even here, this is a very yang activity. We're down in the lower body. We're activating the adrenals and the kidneys, but the yang aspect is coming from the fire of the breath and the rapidity of the movement. So put the seed of the yang and the yin and be a little flippant and pump your breath. In, out, in, out, in, out. Very good. Keep going. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Pumping the breath, moving some currency, heating yourself up. Again, heating up by introducing the yang fiery energy into this yin aspect of the practice. Keep going. In, out, in, out. Good. Pause in the center. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale it out. So here again, just observe little changes in your state as you put a little bit of heat into the system. Now bring your left knee to the center of your mat and then cross your right knee all the way in front of the left. So the left knee is plugging into the back of the right knee. Spread your shins as far away from each other as you can, and then flip both of your wrists all the way around. So flip your right wrist and your left wrist, open each of your collarbones out to their own side, and find a little sense of lifting off of the palm of the hand by bending the elbows back. And then start to really move your pelvis in a big circle. And right now that can look like spinning your tailbone like you were moving around a clock, or you might be moving your whole seat. Let it be very yin and lunar by allowing yourself to move from your intuition, your more embodied state. Nice fluid breath, working with the kidney band here, our ancestral roots, our personal waters, your mobility and your virility. The kidneys are the most yin organ, and they're the storehouses of chi in the body. So anytime we work with the kidneys, we're working with our longevity. And you can change the way in which you're spinning around yourself. And again, the speed at which you choose to spin around yourself is going to define if it's a more yin activity or if you start to spin yourself a little faster. Again, if you're introducing a little bit more heat, the seed of the yang, into this yin play of the kidneys. So breathe and spin around yourself. Very good. Another moment here, change directions or changing the way in which you're moving as you wish. Good, and then pause in the center of yourself, flip your wrists back forward and take your left leg, that's your back leg, extend it out straight back behind you. Now turn your toes away from you and take your left leg all the way out to the side and pin it onto the mat. Come up on your fingertips and now make some big circles with your hips, just opening up, lubricating the joints. All of the joints in the bodies are connected to the kidneys. Again, these watery aspects of ourselves. So play your personal waters as you lubricate and open up the hip joint. Couple more moments here. You can change directions, going against the grain. Good. Another big moment, another big breath. Really stirring the hips. Good. And then pause in the center of yourself and slide your left knee back in. Take a moment to reorganize yourself in the center. Now slide your right knee into the middle of the mat. Cross your left leg in front so that the right knee is plugging into the back of the left knee. And this time, interlace your fingers at the webbing and plop your hand directly underneath of your sternum. So now you have your third foot, you have your third hand, and of course your third eye. So there's this intuitive thread running up the center of yourself, and start to spin again. Keep the tops of the feet plugged in. And again, play your intuition and your embodiment. So this might look like more of a little butt wiggle, shaking your tail side to side, or maybe you're stirring a giant pot, or maybe you are spinning your tailbone around a clock. I want you to play a little bit, be in that yin, yielding, expressive quality. Less trying to accomplish something here and more savoring and enjoying. Nice big breath. Good. Pause in the center of yourself once again. Undo the cross of the hands. Kick your right leg straight back behind you. Flex your foot. Turn your toes away from you. Kick your right leg out to the side. Pop it onto the floor. Come up onto your fingertips. And again, stir the hips. You can allow your knee to bend, your foot to roll around on the floor. Big, full breathing. Might even sigh. Sighing is meant for survival, but we can use it to thrive. It's very soothing to the kidneys and the adrenals. Good. And then pause in the center of yourself. Slide the right knee back in. Very good. Curl your toes under and shift your seat back towards your heels. Stretch your arms forward. You might even walk the hands forward a couple of inches on your mat. And now from here, I want you to hover your knees off of the mat, introducing a little bit of yang heat by activating the thighs. Now keep the connection of belly to thighs and lift your bum straight up into the air. You might have to adjust the feet a little bit so that you're in the fold of the hip crease. The tailbone and the pelvic floor is nice and high. You have a wave through the spine and the lower back. Your kidneys are available to you. Lengthen your neck by gently looking forward like you had watched a marble roll away from you. And now shift forward, unfold from the hip into a plank pose just to measure it out. Make sure now that your shoulders are directly under your wrists, heels are nice and lifted, seat is back, and then refold from the hip crease, bending the knees, taking your seat high and wide. Good. Lunge your right foot between your hands and make sure that your knee lands where your heel goes, and then drop to your back knee. Very good. Lengthen from your pubic bone to your sternum. Broaden your collarbones. Look forward and find that connection between belly and thigh. Really beautiful. Now from here, get your knee right inside of your armpit. Pick up your right foot so that you make contact between the palm of your hand and the sole of your foot, and then start to shift forward and back. Keep full contact, belly to thigh. Again, sometimes it can be really healing and nourishing to let out a big, audible, juicy sigh. And again, here we're introducing a little more heat into something that is still quite yin. It's yin because we are, again, addressing the kidneys here. It's yin because we are close to the ground. But the yang aspect of this is starting to move the currency through the form. It's the movement forward and back and the speed at which I'm choosing to move. So play with holding still the quality of that yin, grounded, stable, attentive, introspective energy, the attention to detail, even as you start to introduce a little more frictive heat. 3 more times. In, out. Good. Last time, shift back forward and now uncurl your back toes. And you might even lift the back knee to find the spread of the back foot, redescend the back knee. And we're going to twist here, nice and simple. So unfold from the hip crease, twist to the right, and hook your left elbow to the top of your right knee. Make a fist in your left hand, drape your right palm over your left fist, and then use the contact between the ball and mitt fit in your hands to turn your chest. Continue lengthening from pubic to sternum. Nice full breath. And look down towards your left shoulder, and then look up and around and back to turn the head so that there's no cranking on the neck. Good. Beautiful. Unwind your twist. Bring your fingertips to the floor. And now lift your back knee and start to straighten your right leg from the ball of your foot to your right buttock bone. Stay high on the ball of the back foot, nice and lifted. And then crawl your fingertips forward as far as you can. Full contact between the belly and the thigh. It's fine if the front knee is quite bent. It doesn't need to be straight. One more big full breath. Good. From here, rebend your right knee and lift your arms all the way up into a high lunge. And now twist to the right again. You can drop your right hand to your sacrum or to your left thigh. Keep your left arm nice and high and find a spinal rotation. Nice and gentle. Pubic bone goes forward. A little more activation. Still holding that quality of attention. And now bring your hands back down to the mat. Listen, pivot to the long edge of your mat and shorten the stance a little bit. Hang over your legs. Bend your knees a little bit so there's a real sense of the knees yearning for the armpits. You can shift a little side to side. And then take your right hand to your left shin, cross your left arm over the top, grab a hold of your right shin, and then widen your feet apart a little more, but only insofar as you can keep full contact. Drop the crown of the head, let the pelvic floor lift. Again, knees yearning towards the armpits. Nice big breath. Okay, the left arm is on top. Keep your arms exactly as they are, but bring the back of your wrist to touch like Garudasana eagle arms. Take your right hand and grab your left wrist, make a fist in your left hand. And now hook your chin right over your left bicep. Bend your knees super deep. Send your pelvic floor back behind you like a baseball umpire. And now punch your fist forward. Push all the way up to stand and punch the wall behind you. Send your pubic bone forward. Good, let's reverse that. Elbows forward, tailbone back. Go nice and slow. Fold back down. Right hand to left shin, left hand to right shin. Good. To get to the other side, take your right hand, your bottom arm, keep your knees a little bent, and now twist to the right. Good. Let your hips move with you. So the twist is coming from the lower body, not from wrenching on the torso. And now take the right arm and cross it over the left for the other side. Super nice. Bring the back of the wrist to touch. Now grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Hook your chin over your right bicep. Send your elbows forward and your tailbone back. Go slow. Push all the way up to stand. Send the pubic bone forward. Reverse that. Send your seat back. Elbows forward. Fold, 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 fold. And grab a hold of the shins once again. So now we'll pivot to the left. Let your hips do the work. Stay in the fold of the hip crease. Unthread the left arm. Push a little more weight into your right foot to allow yourself to pivot left. And then cross your left arm over your right. Good. Uncross your arms. Grab a hold of the backs of your heels. Straighten your legs a little more if it feels good to you. And drop your head. And take 3 big full breaths. So we just had a little heat, a little yang energy, a little activity. Now drop. And as quickly as you can, pull that yin quality back in as you hang in the fold. Really good. Walk towards the back edge of your mat. Pivot your left foot forward and step back to downward facing dog. Right away, drop to your knees like we did before. Curl your toes under, stretch your seat back super actively. Hover the knees off of the floor. Find that belly to thigh contact and extend your seat to the sky, keeping the contact between belly and thigh. And now lunge your left foot forward. Knee drops where the heel goes. Drop to your back knee and right away find length between the pubic bone and your sternum. Lots of length, forward and up. Good. Pick up your left foot with your left hand, getting your knee in your armpit. Crawl your right fingertips a little bit forward, and now start to hinge forward and back, just like we did on the other side. In and out. Good. And again, the speed at which you move is going to determine how big that seed of yang is in this more yin posture that we're playing with. And as we're tending to the very yin organ of the kidneys, forward and back. Good. 3 more. At whatever pace you're moving. Very nice. Pause as you come forward. Uncurl your back toes. Again, I really like to straighten my back leg so I can find the spread of the foot. Redescend the knee. Come up and twist to the left, bringing your right elbow to the top of the left knee or to the outside of it. Fist in your right hand. Drape your left palm over the top, ball and mitt fit, and spin your torso. And to turn the head, look down at your right shoulder. Look out and up and around to free the upper cervical spine. And maybe even take your right eye all the way to the back, flushing out that kidney. Nice big breath. Last full breath. Good. Unwind it. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Straighten your back leg. And then from the ball of your left foot to your left buttock bone, straighten your left leg, keeping your right heel nice and high. Crawl your fingertips forward. And breathe. Good. Take 2 more full breaths here, reintroducing that very attentive, introspective yin quality. Really good. Rebend the left knee. Find the stability in the back leg. Float your arms up to the sky. And now take your left hand to your right leg or to your sacrum. Right arm stays high and twist left. A little throwback to our vinyasa classes. One more big full breath. Good. Bring the fingertips back to the floor and turn your feet to the wide edge of the mat again. This time, heel toe your feet hip distance apart. Can measure by taking 2 fists between your arches and then find a hang opposite palm to opposite elbow. If you have a blanket nearby and you want to grab the blanket, you can, but we won't be here too long. Again, find that sensation of knees yearning for armpits. Lift your pubic bone up towards the sky. It's lifting up and back, your tailbone, excuse me. Thighs are moving towards the belly, so you're a little more shifted towards the ball of the foot. And take 3 more slow, steady, deep breaths here. Very good. Drop your fingertips to the floor. Bend your knees deeply and do a slow spinal wave all the way up to stand. And pause. Good. We're going to introduce a couple elements from a Qigong practice here to really find this expression of playing with the energy of yin. So you can stand a little more casually, feet a little wider than your hips, and bring your middle fingers to touch your outer thighs. Just this little gentle, soft connection. Soften into your ankles and into your knees a little bit. Nice steady breath. Good. Now our movement here. Take your arms out in front of you. I'm going to turn to the side for a moment. Soft knees, palms facing away from you, like you are pushing something away from you. This is going to be our start position. So bent knees, your tailbone might even be slightly going underneath of you. Now, as you breathe in, I want you to pull your hands towards the tops of your shoulders and straighten your legs. Get very, very tall on your in-breath. And now as you exhale, soften the knees and push with your palms, rounding the back a little bit, nice and easy, pushing that chi away from you. Inhale and draw it in, bend the elbows, hands to your shoulders, stand nice and tall, lift the collarbones, and exhale, that gentle push away. Good, keep going, breathe in. And out, soften the knees, push the palms away. 2 more times, in. And see if as you do this, rather than it being a mechanical movement, if you can start to attune a little bit to the quality of chi. See if you can even sense the chi in your palms of your hands, or riding on the breath. 1 more time. Last one, inhale. Now this time as your hands come to your shoulders, stay nice and tall. Extend your arms out like a T shape. And now flip your palms to the sky. And I want you to gather up your chi. Use your imagination. Lift your arms up over your head like you were making a sun shape. And now with your palms facing down, gently push the chi down towards your belly. As your fingers pass in front of your face, stop right above your abdomen, right at the top of the diaphragm. Good. Again, inhale, take the palms out to the side, scoop up, gather up the chi. And now find this sense of pushing, managing the chi down into the belly. Hands will stop and hover just at the line of the ribs. Good. Do that a couple more times. And again, instead of it being a mechanical movement, just some action you're going through, see if you can introduce that yin quality of your attention, where you're really sensing and exploring the quality of chi. Good. Let's do that one more time. Really intuitive, sensing and feeling. And keep the hands just hovering in front of the belly. And now almost like you were pregnant, I want you to sense the ball of energy in front of you, or like you were holding a beach ball, and reach your hands out and around in a circle. Just a couple times, really sensing this chi center in the body. One more. Noticing, feeling, observing. Good. And then straighten the legs, drop the middle fingers alongside of your hips once again. And just observe. Quality of attention, feeling in the system. If your eyes are closed, blink them open. We're going to take this yin quality of attention now and introduce it into our Katonah moon salutations. So come to the mat. And to get back, take a nice deep breath in. We're going to flow it a little bit. Stretch your arms up. And then exhale. Hands can trace the center line. Fold over your legs. Inhale and stretch your heart forward in a halfway lift. And then step back to our downward facing dog. And now from the downward facing dog, lower to your knees. Send your seat back and make yourself into a little seed. Like you are the little seed of yin that we're going to introduce into the yang. The lunar salutations are yin because they're lunar salutes, but they're yang in that they're flowing movement patterns, a little more virility. And take another moment here being the little seedling of potential, the liminal space between 1 and 12, the 13, the third thing. Good. And now sit back on your heels for one and stretch your arms up to the sky like the little seed sprouting through the earth. And then bow down and touch the earth once again and allow yourself now to be a wave, to be pulled out to shore. So glide forward either into the up dog or to the cobra, and then resist the pull of the unconscious and take your seat up and back. Step your foot, your right foot between your hands, and drop to your back knee and be the crescent moon now. Lift your arms up and back, pubic bone forward. Good. And now fingertips to the floor, step forward. So your feet meet at the top and fold in on yourself. Now embody the full flowering or the rising of the full moon. Make a big circle around yourself all the way up to stand. And then fold right back down again. Step the right foot back so that you're back into your lunge. Drop to the back knee, unfold it. Again, be that crescent-shaped moon. And then resist the moon, hands to the mat, frame it up by stepping back into a downward facing dog. Next is a wave. Roll yourself forward again into the up dog. And now drop to your knees, send your seat back and back to the starting position, the little seedling. Good one, sit back on your heels, Lift your arms up to the sky. 2, bow down and touch the mat. 4, head down, really let go. 3 is a wave. Let yourself be pulled forward out to sea. And then 4, resist the unconscious. Step the left foot forward. 5 is a lunge. Lift it up. Good. 6, fingertips to the floor. Step forward and fold over yourself. Good. Be the full moon rising. Reach up and overhead. And then 8, fold back down on yourself once again. 9 is a lunge. Step the left foot back. Drop to your back knee. Lift it up. Good. 10, frame it up. Bring your hands to the mat and step back to the down dog. 11 is a wave. Come forward through the back bend. 12, knees drop back to your little seedling shape again. Good. Pause for a moment. Reconnect with the yin energy, even as we might be stimulating the intellect. There might be a little more movement happening in the blood or the breath. And carrying that yin quality in. 1, sit back on your heels. 2, bow down. Drop even your forehead to the earth. 3 is a wave. Glide forward. 4, resist. Frame it up. 4 is a frame. Lunge the right foot forward for 5 and unfold it. Good. Plant your hands and step all the way forward for 6. Take a risk. 7 is the completion. Big circle around yourself to rise. 8 is the infinity. Fold back down again. Step your right foot back for 9. Take the lunge. Lift your arms up. 10 is the whole thing. Sometimes it's the death of everything. Put a wave on it for 11. And 12, the whole process starts again. Send your seat back. Be a little seed. 1, stretch your arms up. 2, bow down. Touch the earth. 3, glide forward into the back bend. 4, resist. Frame it up. Lunge the left foot forward. Be the crescent moon. 6, take a risk. Step forward. 7 is the rising. Go all the way up and around yourself for the completion. 8 is the infinite mess we always have to clean up. Lunge your left foot back. Drop to the back knee. 9, the stellar of the stellar. 10 is the whole thing. Step back. Frame it up. 11, put a wave on it. And 12, back to the little seedling of potential. 1 more round, right and left. 1, sit back. 2, bow down, touch the earth. 3, the trinity, the wave. 4, resist the pull of the unconscious. Lunge the right foot for 5, be the crescent moon. 6, take a risk, step forward. 7, big sphere around yourself, the illumination. 8, the embodiment. Fold back down. Step your right foot back a little more yang now, a little more speed into this yin quality salute crescent lunge. 10, frame it up in the down dog. Put a wave on it for 11, and then seat back for 12. And again, the seed of the yang and the yin. Last time, sit back. 1, bow down for 2. 3, pull yourself forward. 4, frame it up. 5 is a lunge. 6, step and fold forward on yourself. 7, rise it up. 8, fold in on yourself. 9, left foot back, the lunge. 10, down dog. 11, put a wave on it, be pulled out to sea. Drop to your knees. 12, Be back to your little seedling of potential and just nestle in for a moment. Steady your breath. Here you might have a little pounding in your heart. There might be a little heat in the blood or a little sweat as we took something that the metaphor and the beauty of it is in this lunar yin quality, but we put a little frictive heat on it with the speed in the end. Again, putting the seed into its pair of opposite, playing on the fluency and the interdependence of the qualities of yin and yang. Very good. Come back to sit on your heels. Bring your hands back forward and come back to downward facing dog once again. And then from downward facing dog, step your right foot between your hands and pin your back heel down. Very good. Old school little yoga pose here that we don't often do in our Katonah practice. Bring your right elbow to your right knee in an extended side angle. Take your left hand behind your back, and if you can, grab a hold of your right thigh. Good. So you're in a little half bind and utilizing that bind to open up the chest. And now drop your right ear towards your right shoulder to open up the left side of the neck. And you don't need to be in your deepest lunge here. This version that we're practicing is not for fitness. It's to give you an opportunity to open up the muscles around the neck, sternocleidomastoid, to expand your breathing. Another moment here. Good. Undo the bind, nice and gentle, and push all the way up to stand. Pivot your toes forward and shorten the stance a little bit. Good. And then once again, just like earlier, fold forward with a generous bend in the knees so that, again, the knees can reach towards the armpits. Reach back behind you and grab a hold of your heels, or you might even scoop them all the way up into the palms of the hands and drop your head. Right back into that full yin quality energy, again, tending to the kidneys, storehouses of our chi. One more breath. And again, that could be considered a slightly more yang hang as we only held it for a couple breaths. So notice these little subtle differences. Pivot towards the back of the mat and step back to down dog. And lunge your left foot forward. So again, old school pose, pin the back heel down and bring your left elbow to your knee and then swing your right arm behind your back, either holding your thigh or just back of your hand to your back, and then drop left ear towards left shoulder. So you can open up the right side of your neck and find a place of softness, of yielding. Finding the paradox here of the activity of the legs, the yang quality of muscular activity and effort, and the surrender and the softness. Good. 2 more breaths here. Really nice. Gently lift the head. Undo the bind. Straighten your legs so they're parallel to the front edge of the mat. And then shorten the stance and shake it out. Good. Grab a blanket, please, or a towel, and bring it towards the top of the mat. And first, stand in front of it and find a sway, left and right. And notice what's required for the arms to swing around you, the movement in the ankles. And see if now you can increase that by deepening into the bend of the knees, which allows you to deepen into the ankles, which is going to allow for a bigger spherical spin around yourself. So there's a yielding in the joints that allows for the freedom of movement. Good. And then make that smaller and smaller till it's more isolated to the hips and the upper body. And pause in the center and feel what you feel. Good. Bring your heels back onto the blanket. Inhale and take your arms up overhead. Hook opposite palm to opposite elbow. And now send your seat back and your sternum forward till your chest is parallel to the floor. And imagine someone was pulling you into pulling your hip crease back and pulling your elbow points forward. Lift your chin a little bit. And now keep folding and then lift your seat so that you're really in the fold of the hip crease and drop your head. Good. Again, bend the knees. Start to take the elbows forward and up. Sit back like you were sitting in a chair, and then push all the way to stand and send your pubic bone forward. Again, send your seat back, sternum and chest forward, passing through parallel to the floor, and then lift your seat and fold over your legs. Do that one more time, a little more speed. Again, this yang quality into the movement. Push all the way to stand. Send your pubic bone forward. And then reverse it. Send your seat back and drop the crown of the head. Super nice. Good. Widen the feet a little bit and bend your knees into a squat. And if you need 2 blankets here, that's perfectly fine. And I recently heard a teacher saying that you had to have your feet parallel in this or it was causing you to collapse through your sacrum. And I just want to give you permission to have your feet in whatever position is comfortable for you. Bones grow in a spiral, and people are going to have different degrees of turnout in their legs based on the way the spiral grew in their body. And it is not possible for everyone to force their feet parallel in a squat. So while we might work towards the archetype of that, please give yourself permission to honor the unique nature of your own hips, which are very complicated. But if you can, work the feet towards a more parallel position. And then bring your elbows to the inside of your knees and your fingertips to touch. Push your elbows out into your knees and your knees into your elbows so you can really find a sense of lift. And take 3 breaths here. Good. So nice. Let's turn this into a little bit of a spin. So you might need to widen your feet even more. Take your right arm to the inside of your right leg and then take your left arm high. And especially here, your toes might spin out a little bit and it's okay. Use your bottom knee to turn you. And then come back to the center. Take your left arm to the inside of your right leg. Take your right arm high. Again, a little bit of more speed, even in this more yin state. Holding the poses for a little less time. And then back to the center. Very good. Bring the feet a little closer together if you can, so that the feet are as parallel as it is appropriate for you. And then take opposite palm to opposite elbow. And here, I want you to take your arms now up alongside of your ears and come out of the squat a little bit. Good. This is going to feel like a lot of work. Now lift your bum up towards the sky and drop your head. And now lean forward with the elbows as the tailbone goes back and dip into your squat. And then like you were drawing a half circle with your elbows, straighten the legs again. So keeping the spine as upright as you can. Take 5 of these dips down into the squat. And you might not be going as low as me. Prioritize keeping the contact between belly and thighs and the lift of the upper torso last time. Good. And then fold and stay. Drop your hands. Heel toe your feet hip distance apart. Measure 2 fists between the arches. And then pick up your heels in the palms of your hands and drop your head. And sink again into this more yin quality. Little gentle shake of the head side to side. Really nice. 3 more breaths. Good. Unhook your hands from your heels and gently lower into a squat as gracefully as you can. Bum onto your blanket. Wiggle back on your mat a little bit to give yourself some space. If you have blocks handy, you can grab them. Extend the legs out in front of you. And then rather than locking out the knees, I want you to bend your knees to drag the pelvis forward so that just like in a standing forward fold, you're really up on your perineum. A little generous bend in the knees. Now take your arms up, find that frame again, lift up and off of yourself and fold forward so that the knees can come towards the armpits. Good, now lengthen your sternum forward and go forward to rise, just like we did when we were standing. A little back bend at the top. Again, fold down. And lift and rise. Good, leading with the sternum one more time. Fold down. And lift and rise. Good, this time we'll stay down, fold down. And you can grab a hold of your heels. Get your knees into your armpits and do a little butt scoot back. If you wish, you can put a block between your legs. Maybe a block at the end of the feet or 2 blocks as you wish. And fold in on yourself for 5 full breaths. And really tuning in again to the yin quality of kidney, the quietude of the back body, folding in on yourself like a little snail in its shell. Good, maybe 3 more breaths. Again, just the way we began practice, sensing the support of the earth below you now. Yielding, softening, returning to that fully yin state. Now nice and easy. Lengthen forward to rise. And we're going to finish with a nice, fiery, stimulating, purifying yang breath of Kapalabhati. So you can sit cross-legged on your blanket or in Virasana on your block, wherever you are. Take your arms up overhead in the shape of a V, an equilateral triangle for strength, structure, and stability. Let's take a nice deep breath in, and then we're going to pump the abdomen back and forcefully exhale. The inhale will happen naturally as you release the belly. We'll pump out about 100 breaths. Take a nice deep breath in and begin. Out, 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 out. Sitting up nice and tall so that the lungs are coming forward, the pubic bone is coming forward. So it's like you've opened the window at the crown of the head and the window in the basement, and you're getting a nice cross breeze through your house. In the ancient dialogue of yoga, this was a cleanse for the third eye. It was called a shat karma, or a purification technique. It's very fiery, it's very stimulating. It's the sense of cleaning things out, out, out so that there's no heat trapped in the body. So keep going. Take about 20 more breaths. Out, 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 out. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. Hook your thumbs over your head. Take in 3 more little sips. 1 more little sniff. Hold your breath. Squeeze everything from the bottom to the top. Nice big breath. And then exhale and let it go. Touch the floor with your fingertips to reground and stabilize. And then bring the backs of your hands to your thighs for a moment and just sense and feel a piece of you that is stable and yielding and graceful, and the part of you that is active and doing and going. And how you can play both of those energies and balance them within yourself, both on your mat, in your breath, and in your life. And then when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you next time.